Hi, I'm Brickroad. Welcome to Let's Play the Battle of Olympus. Now, I recently did Castlevania 2, and Castlevania 2 is a kind of cryptic game where you have to decipher a lot of clues in order to progress in the game, in order to figure out where to go and what to do. And it's kind of thematically similar to Zelda 2 in a lot of ways. You've got the big open world. Of course, Zelda 2 has the top-down overworld, but you've got like kind of the clunky combat that doesn't feel really good until you're really used to it. The kind of cryptic thing, the clues and things that are harder to decipher because of the English translation. But anyway, my point is I started uploading Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time after that Castlevania 2 Let's Play, and that prompted a couple people to say, have you not done Zelda 2 on the channel? Like, you haven't done it? So I was thinking about maybe recording some Zelda 2, and then I'm like, you know what? No, Battle of Olympus. Because this game, more so than Zelda 2, I would say, was one of my childhood nemeses. We played this game... Hold on, we've got to fight the first boss here. I don't know how long it took us to finally complete this game. I want to say years. I want to say we owned this game for a couple of years before finally as kids, we put it together. And in Battle of Olympus, it's not because the clues are hard to decipher, okay? In Castlevania 2, it was all about the clues are incomprehensible and a lot of them are actually just bad. Battle of Olympus, unraveling the clues is actually the best part of the game. Let's see if I can just skip the boss. I mean, we'll land on his butt. That's fine. We got some cow rump in the Let's Play now. That's okay. Where am I go? Argolis. We need to go to Argolis. Very similar to Zelda 2 in a lot of ways. I mean, look at my attack here. This is... that's my attack. My little stabby with my club here. Battle of Olympus is worse than Zelda 2 in three very key ways. The first is that fighting is never satisfying in this game. Every monster type is absolutely obnoxious. This guy's going to be like, don't go to Argolis yet, but we totally are going to go to Argolis right now. And that's a problem because there's a lot of monsters in this game, but I'm going to be avoiding most of the monsters as we go. The second thing you may have noticed, there is a little bit of glitchiness on the top of my screen. Though that's my olive indicator. Those are not little red eyeballs, those are olives, and I have 9 blue square. I have 90 blue square olives right now. That's because I have put in a Game Genie code to tell the game that I always have an infinite number of olives. I am cheating my pakooskie off in this Let's Play. For reasons that become apparent right now. If you die because a cheap bat knocked you into a hole and you pick continue, it cuts your olives in half every time you do that. The game usually doesn't send you back that far, usually just to the beginning of the area you were in. We just entered Argolis, so we're right here, you know? But it happened again. So if I had come into Argolis with 99 olives, which takes 17 hours to farm up, I would have cut it down to 50, and then we'd be down to 25 olives right now, because of cheap bat deaths, basically. So, grinding in games like this, I mentioned in the Castlevania 2 Let's Play, I don't mind that much. I mean, I knew this hole was safe, but there's kind of nothing to do down here, so... But that's the second thing. Here's the third thing. Well, the second thing is grinding olives is boring. Here's the third thing. Some of the doors take you backwards, just kind of randomly. Like, doors... There's a lot of one-way exits, and a lot of the times in this game, you can't know which doors are one-way until you go through them and have to replay lots of the levels. So getting back to the olives thing, you need... Let me think. I think you need 160 olives over the course of the run, assuming you only buy the things you absolutely need. And then there's other things on top of that that you probably should buy, or that you're going to want to buy. The first thing is in this dungeon here, if I can get past these bats and snakes and things, which I can't. The first thing is in here, and we need to spend 50 olives at our first NPC in Argolis here, in order to purchase something kind of important. And you thought that grinding hearts in Castlevania 2... I'm sorry, I did my test play like a week and a half ago. My motor functions for Battle of Olympus have not kicked back in yet. And if we want this series to be maximally entertaining, perhaps they never will. If you watch Castlevania 2 and you're like, oh man, that farming, like, that's too much. Like, I don't know how he defend grinding the hearts. Grinding hearts in Castlevania 2 is like a winter retreat compared to grinding olives in Battle of Olympus. And when we were kids, I'm actually gonna, like, I know we're gonna die anyway, but I'm just gonna refill a little bit of health that I took there. Grinding olives in Battle of Olympus takes 1,000,000 times longer than grinding hearts in Castlevania 2, and it's something you absolutely have to do, and monsters drop olives a lot less frequently than Castlevania monsters drop hearts. Every single monster in Castlevania drops hearts. Not every monster in Battle of Olympus drops olives. So, the difference, like, there's an olive right there, and it's kind of cool. You have to actually stoop down. You have to duck in order to pick up the drops in this game. I kind of like that, actually. In fact, when we go back to speak with Hermes, well, we're in Hermes' temple here to talk to this guy, but he says Hermes got summoned by Zeus, so I gotta go back to Zeus's temple. But you'll see when we go to talk to the gods, you can talk to NPCs in this game just by pressing the B button next to them, but to talk to gods, you actually have to kneel next to them and show them deference. The game is based loosely on Greek mythology. I say very loosely because, like, aside from the names of the gods and some of the, like, the names of some of the bosses, you see they were playing very fast and loose with the Greek myths. But I liked that. Even as a kid, I liked that little detail, how you talk to the NPCs, but in order to speak to the gods in their temples, you have to kneel before them. I think it's a nice little touch. Same with, like, the, you have to kneel down to pick up the monster drops. You can't just walk over them like you can in other games. Mechanically speaking, it is a bigger pain to pick stuff up in this game than in other games of its pedigree, but, like, it makes sense. Like, you kill a monster and it drops olives on the ground, you gotta stoop down to pick them up, you know? Like, that little details like that stood out to me. Also, I think this game has a very catchy soundtrack. I don't know that I'd call it a good soundtrack, even for 8-bit chiptunes, but very catchy music in this game. Again, I played it as a kid. I mean, at the time I probably owned 3 Nintendo games, and this was one of them, so we just played it to death. The combat in this game feels really bad, just kind of in general. You've got this little tiny thing, and the hitbox on your little... Right now I've just got a club, that's all I have. But the hitbox on it is actually smaller than what it looks like. It looks like about the same size as Link's butter knife in The Legend of Zelda, but it's not. It's actually smaller. I can jump higher now, which is nice. Got that going for me, which means now jumping over this bull, no problem. So, Battle of Olympus is kind of a much meaner version of Zelda 2. If you thought Zelda 2 was already mean, and I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is, you know, let's be honest. It's kind of a mean game. But Battle of Olympus is an even more mean version of Zelda 2. And it's kind of why I wanted to share it, because I know a lot of people dislike Zelda 2, and a lot of people dislike Castlevania 2. You guys don't know how good those games actually were compared to other games of its style back in the day. Like, Battle of Olympus was trying to be the same kind of game that Zelda 2 and Castlevania 2 already were. And, I mean, I guess it succeeds in one sense. Like I said, actually deciphering the clues and figure out where to go, and just kind of the running around and exploring the world, that's the fun part of this game. That's what this game does really well. It's kind of everything else. Like, if fighting the monsters was fun, like if you had a nice satisfying sword slash instead of the little pokey butt, you know? If grinding olives weren't such a massive chore, like, you really don't need olives in the game at all. Like, if they just removed everything you had to buy and gave it to you for free, the game would be a lot better, and that's why I've decided to play it with this Game Genie code. Trust me, it's not going to make the game any easier. all it's going to do is cut out probably an entire video's worth of olive farming. That's it. That's all it's going to do. Do have to concentrate here for a second. We gotta go fight a boss over here, and the bosses are really mean. Most of them, you just kind of have to cheese their AI in order to beat them, and that's the only way you're gonna beat them. If you can't figure out how to cheese the AI of these boss creatures, you'll be retrying a lot. So, right over here, every single one of these little doors, by the way, every single one of these little houses goes to an NPC that has useful information. Okay, here's the Lamia. We're gonna jump. Oh, okay. We go. So Athena gave us a shield, but the shield is not that useful. Like, it doesn't actually block shots unless the shot hits like the actual couple pixels on your character model. Can I get in here, please? And on top of that, every boss slowly backs away from you like this. Whew, first try. Every boss kind of slowly backs away from you, and you've got your little 4-pixel wide... Right now it's a club, later it'll be a sword. But, so you kind of have to try to cheeseball the AI. The game actually wants you to go fight that boss before getting the high jump sandals from Hermes. They figure, oh, we gave you the shield in Athena, you can just block Lamia's arrows. But the problem is, like, the shield is so worthless. Oh, we have a new weapon now. We got the Staff of Fennel. Woo! It looks exactly like the club, it's just a little more orangey. Look how big my shield looks on my character. It looks like it kind of defends the entire character, doesn't it? But if an arrow doesn't hit, like, the center of the shield, it will damage you. This guy's all like, oh man, go talk to Prometheus. He knows all about the stick. You got it, buddy. And same thing, like the monster hitboxes, you'll see over the course of this game what looks like the monster is just traveling right through my weapon and not taking any damage. That's because, like, I think it's because, like, the sword, it looks like it's really fast, right? It looks like it's really constant. I'm pretty sure how it actually works, though, is the sword only has active frames at the very, very end. Like, the wind-up, when it's just, like, moving out to full stab distance, doesn't do anything. That, and I'm pretty sure that the actual hitbox on the monsters itself... Oh yeah, I can walk on ceilings, kind of, too. We need to go in this door, though. Back to Argolis. I mean, if this is what Hermes sandals just do, it's just good stuff. Yeah, it also feels like the monsters themselves. You have to hit them in, like, just the correct part of their graphic in order to actually damage them. The combination of those three things, so your very short-range weapon, the fact that your weapon only works on active frames towards the end, and the monsters themselves having smaller hitboxes than what it appears they should have, it really does feel like things that should hurt monsters don't a lot of the time. I do kind of want to be careful. You know, I'm probably going to die anyway. But, like, I'm absolutely going to die to this boss. We're not going to be able to get these bats out of the way properly. Let's see here. So let's kind of inch forward. Here's the problem. That lion's going to charge me, and that bat's going to swoop down on me at the same time. So... Oh, nice! I got the bat without getting the lion. Okay, that's good. That's good. Jump over the lion. He's going to come back. This is perfect. Nope. Whew! Okay, well, you know. If you're going to cut it close. So, of course, it's just like Castlevania. Up and your weapon button, and you can use special attack. But you actually have to talk to Prometheus there to learn how to do that special attack. Otherwise, it doesn't work. This does mean you can't use it in front of doors. If I try to do it in front of a door, I'll just walk through the door. You also can't do it in front of stairs, because if you try to just walk up the stairs. So, there's one level in this game in particular that's going to be a big, big issue. So it's not the most user-friendly of NES games. Let's just say. But despite all of these faults, despite all of these reasons that Battle of Olympus is pretty terrible, I still kind of love it because I remember solving this game as a kid. I remember how long it took and how many playthroughs it took to actually put together, not only putting together the clues and figuring out where to go and what to do, but also like learning each level, learning how to survive each level. None of the levels are very long. None of the levels are very big. And you get infinite continues as long as you don't care about losing olives. You do get infinite continues, which is kind of nice. But you've got screens like this where as soon as you walk through the door, like a bat swoops down. And you've got levels like this. This is not a very long level, but it's very maze-like. Like, we're going to have to go through here. And then I think we're going to have to... Okay, let's get up on the ceiling here. Oh, we hopped the bat. I think right. And then I think... this here... Yeah, okay, this is going to be Apollo's shrine. He'll give me a magic harp. Thanks a lot, buddy. So we got that now. And then I think I want to go right, and then... Wait, hold on. I think I want to go right here. And then right again. And I think that's the way through the forest. Yes! Oh, nice, nice. I did a test play a couple weeks ago. And I'm surprised I still remember that. But the reason we need the Staff of Fennel that can throw fire is to get past these brambles right here. And you actually don't even need that. You can just jump onto them and take the damage boost to throw yourself over. That also works. But I kind of want to show you guys. We're going to do the hundo. We're going to get everything in the game. Oh! Didn't go for a swim there. That's good. That's good stuff. Well, I want to do the hundo. I want to show you guys the critical path, and I want to show you how it works. This boss, when I did my test play, took forever to remember the trick. The trick is, you want to stay like one block away from him and just do this. I think that's too far away. Nope, that's right. This is right. As long as we do this, I think he'll always, always, always jump into the stick. Can you hear how furiously I'm hammering the controller here? Do not try to fight this boss legitimately. He does like half your health whenever he hits you, and he can knock you into the water. And isn't that fun? And now we have a sword, which means we can fight the other boss here in Peloponnesus, which is the Cyclops. So yeah, even though this game is kind of terrible, and I don't think I could ever recommend it to somebody to play, I still have a soft spot for it because this game, along with another NES side-scrolly kind of exploration-y RPG kind of affair, is one of two games that I solved as a kid that took forever. Oh, look at that. I just demonstrated the speed strats by being a jabroni. This is one of two games of this kind of ilk that took a very long time for me to solve as a kid, that kind of fall into that Zelda 2, Castlevania 2 situation. I think I want to go in here now? No. I'm pretty sure it's this darker screen, though. Let's just try all the trees here in the darker area. Yeah, this is it. The crows told me something is hanging from the tops of those trees. See, this is an example of one of the clues in this game that I like. He's telling you there's something hanging from the top of the trees. And I think there's another NPC that also hints that there's something in the top of the trees in Peloponnesus. It's like, there's nothing obvious up there, but it's like if you like start jumping around and just hitting the button, you'll eventually find this. See, I think that's a pretty well-hidden clue, right? I think that's pretty good. Most of this game is in that vein.
Shoutouts to Bob for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.